Can everyone hear me? How is everybody tonight? Looks like we got some people. I am simultaneously casting on Twitch as the primary platform and YouTube tonight. So, if you're over on YouTube and you want to head on over to Twitch, you can give me a follow. That'd be appreciated. But you don't have to. You can watch it wherever you want. Looks like we got lots of people in over on Twitch. We got Bingo. Hey, Bingo, thanks for stopping by. Boda Zen stopping by as usual. Appreciate that. Appreciate you everyone coming into Twitch. Over on YouTube, Mike Dean, Christian B, Broke Citizen, Chris Bates, John Ski, Dark Side of the Wall. Hopefully I got that right. Everyone's coming in. Appreciate it. Sorry about the slight delay in getting started tonight. I meant to stream last night, but I've been kind of recovering from quite a sickness lately. If any of you have kids like I do, you're sick all the time. That's just part of it. But it's been yesterday was the Gatac Railen Q&A. Those of you know me know I got a bit of an interest in that ship, so I wanted to kind of go over the Q&A, but I was actually slightly disappointed in the Q&A. It didn't hit on some of the questions I was hoping they would hit on, and I don't know, felt a little lacking. So it was probably best that I didn't stream last night because it would have been a rather short stream because I was not playing the game. But at least tonight we could go over the Gatac Railen Q&A. I have a few thoughts on that, and then possibly even bring up the model and kind of inspect that against the Q&A. But also, I was going to watch down Inside Star Citizen. I watched about a minute and a half of it. So I saw a little bit of the Orson preview, but I decided to save it in order to watch it tonight with all of you. I don't know if you've all seen it. Is it a good one? I'm hoping it's a good one. It says Life Among the Clouds, all about Orson. So I'm really excited for this one. For those that know me, know that I talk incessantly about Orson. And it's definitely, the landing zone I've been looking most forward to. So, real quick audio check. Can everyone hear me? Is hearing me okay? Just want to make sure. I'm assuming so. Cool. So we'll get to watching it. If you don't hear the audio or anything, obviously pipe up. Let me know in chat. One other thing, a couple other things actually, real quick. Me and Ender, as you know, StarJump Ender is my stream or my StarJump partner, so to speak. Actually, let me bring up a few things here. We will be unveiling a few things this weekend, which will be kind of cool. One of those will be our merch store. And you may be asking, why did you start a merch store? And to be totally honest with you, the reason we did it was in order to get ourselves some StarJump shirts and hats and stuff like that. And when I was building the store, essentially for us to order things, we got to thinking and we were like, you know what? We could just leave this open for people and use it for giveaways and stuff like that. So, the first bit of stuff will just be kind of StarJump logo related, but I'm hoping to bring in a lot of the assets we've created for cinematics and do really cool merch. However, I need to run that through CIG, make sure some of that's okay. Obviously, just posting an image of a ship and selling something is not going to be okay. But I kind of am curious about how much we can deviate from that, and it would fall into the okay category. It may not be, but if it's not, then we'll focus on StarJump stuff. But either way, so merch store. Our Patreon is now live, which is really cool. We put out the first reward for the tiers, which was the custom wallpaper. I'll probably show that on today's cast. So that was pretty cool. I'll get that ready here in a minute for those of you that are Patreon members of StarJump. Of course, we appreciate it. Those funds will go towards a few things, and ultimately go essentially back into what we're doing. So they're going to go into the stream, into our productions. The cinematics, for example, do cost money to render. Um, you know, I would say the Aegis cinematic almost cost 3 grand to render. So, from a cost standpoint, that support that we're given through Patreon, through tips and donations and stuff helps in the production of that stuff. But just remember, you do not have to tip, you do not have to donate, you do not have to be Patreons or any of that stuff. All of our content will still come out to everyone, but it does help. It takes a little bit of the sting off of some of those projects, especially when I want to get through all the manufacturers. So it does really help. So we'll preview that. You know what? We'll start off with that. Actually, let's start off with that. I'm going to switch screens here for a moment. Stand by. Okay, my webcam is a little off here. That's okay. We're going to fix that right now. Not a problem. Just going to bring this over and look at that. It's like magic. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, everyone. Bear with me. I'm just going to move a few things around. Where's that wallpaper? Let's find it. This is the first Patreon 4K wallpaper that we did. I thought it came out pretty cool for the first one. There's going to be 2 a month, and if you're the top tier, then you can request like custom wallpapers. But let me bring that up for everyone, just so you can get a sense of what we're trying to do. Here it is. So this is the first wallpaper. I call it Drake meets Idris, or Drake meets Aegis. I just thought it was this cool scene where the two ships are docked together by their little docking collars here, and you got a series of Drake ships over here and a series of Aegis ships. Just thought it was really cool, especially because people are constantly saying, "Oh, what would it be like if the Idris was going up against the Kraken? Who would win?" Et cetera, et cetera. So I just thought it was kind of cool to do a little meeting of the minds here. Got some drones out here doing some repair. So, but that's it. That's a little preview. Obviously, we'll do a lot more of those. We're going to probably do 2 or 3 of them a month, honestly. Not totally sure what the next one's going to be, but I have a few ideas. Yeah. So cool. Where do we want to start? Do we want to start with Inside Star Citizen or the Railen Q&A? I think the Railen Q&A is pretty quick. But do you guys have a preference? Does anyone have a preference tonight? I noticed my Nightbot does not seem to be working. Stand by. Let me make sure it's working here. Yeah, Boda in chat says very cool. You made them allies in the wallpaper. Hey, I thought that was cool. Here it is again. I thought, you know what? I got to looking at it, and the call, the docking collar or the airlock ports, excuse me, on the Idris and the Kraken, they're the same. They're the same metrics and everything. So, and they're the same shape. So I got to thinking about that. I was like, oh man, it would be totally normal for for these two ships to link up. So, real quick too, I am going to post a couple links in the Twitch, at least, to our channels for those that don't have them already. Hopefully you do. Obviously, go to our YouTubes, like, subscribe if you like that content. Hey, Anarchy Burger, how are you, man? Things are good. I'm just going to be previewing a little Inside Star Citizen tonight, as well as going over the Gatac Railen Q&A. Right now, I am showing our first custom wallpaper for our Patreons. Wanted to preview off that to people, give everyone a little bit. We do these in 4K, and we're going to do them in ultra widescreen versions as well. So these are super high res. Hey, it's the Riddick. What's going on, dude? Really appreciate you stopping by. that wallpaper is like a player-made station. Absolutely, dude. That's what I'm hoping we can do with these ships, Bingo, is this exact sort of thing. So, I mean, I love Drake. I love Aegis. It's a funny thing is that when I do the cinematics, a lot of times people are like, "Oh, you blew up the Perseus. You must not like the Perseus." I love all the ships. I really do. There's not. I mean, there's some ships I like more than others, but I really love the manufacturers, the lore behind them, their aesthetics, et cetera, et cetera. So for me, I enjoy all of them, and I like celebrating the design of the ship. So yeah, I just thought I would start with two of my favorite, my most favorite ship, the Drake Kraken, along with my second favorite ship, the Drake Corsair, meeting up with a group of Aegis. So it kind of celebrates my two cinematics, my Drake cinematic and my Aegis cinematic. So yeah, that's the first one. I'm going to do two of those a month for the Patreon, two custom wallpapers, and I'm also going to do custom wallpaper for the top tier. I'm going to do like requests, so you'll be able to request. Okay, looks like Nightbot's finally working. I think. Yep. Okay. We're going to do the Gatac Railen Q&A first, I think, just because it's shorter and excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. Everyone, I am a little I got a little bit of a cold I've had this week, so that's actually why I haven't been streaming. I was hoping to get on and do a lot more streaming this week, but so let's start with the Gatac Railen. Those of you, there's several of you that know I have been messing with the Railen. I'm actually going to open Cinema 4D just so we can have that ready in case we want to bring up any of the Railen stuff here. Actually, let me import that in. Appreciate everyone being patient. You guys are always very patient with me. I'm not as well prepared as the other streamers out there, probably, but I try to do something slightly entertaining here. Do I have the Railen? Where's the Railen? It's okay. I got it right here. Ships Railen. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. Again, appreciate everyone coming out tonight. See a lot of you in Twitch, a lot of you on YouTube. Really appreciate it. I am still doing the simultaneously casting thing in YouTube and Twitch. Twitch is the primary platform though, so but you can watch it anywhere. Okay, so we'll have the Gatac Railen up. I wanted to be able to kind of look at that, maybe if we need to kind of compare any of the Q&A notes. Let me remove this light. Actually, no, let's not remove the light. Okay. All right, let's go back to it. Okay, so Gatac Railen Q&A. The following concept release of the Gatac Railen. We took your community voted questions to our designers to provide you with more information on the recently unveiled Xi'an cargo ship. All right, cool. I've been waiting for this. Again, I'm a big fan of this ship. I think it's really cool. Yes, I know there's bigger cargo ships that carry more capacity, that are cheaper in money and all that. You know what? Some days you just have to put that aside and go, this is a cool ship. Whether you pledge for it or you earn it in game, this is a cool ship, and this ship's going to be cool coming through the atmosphere, man. All right, let's start. The current SCU system is based on rectangular dimensions. So how are the new triangular cargo pods on the Railen going to work? Will this new shape affect the physicalized inventory? So again, these questions are all upvoted on Spectrum. So I'm guessing this was the most upvoted question. Seems like a slightly silly question to me. So their answer is the triangular cargo pods of the Railen are actually fixed to the ship and not the cargo containers themselves. They are open to fit the standard cargo items inside. That's exactly what I thought they were going to be. Boda says the inside looks cool so far. Yeah, I agree, Boda. These are the little cargo pods back here. I looked at them as something integral to the actual ship itself and not the actual cargo pods. I looked at them as just a storage solution for a cargo of any type. The fact that they're triangular is no different than, ships have different shaped thrusters and yet still fly the same, or have different shaped wings or nacelles or anything, but yet they can still fly through the atmosphere. I mean, it's just a design decision. It doesn't have any real, real, integral part to play and like, do the little storage boxes fit in here. If I had to guess, I think it's going to be a situation where you have, essentially a little storage box like this. We're going to get a little down and dirty here real quick if you all don't mind. But you might have a little, let's say, 5.5. I think you're going to have essentially, a bunch of little cargo boxes, and those little cargo boxes are just going to fit in there. And however many fits in there is how many fits in there. But you're going to have your cargo boxes kind of fit in here, and the space that's left over, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more than that, by the way, but the space that's left over is probably just going to be structure to essentially keep the boxes from jostling around and, hinges and safety strap downs and grab plating or whatever. So I wouldn't read too much into the triangle plating. I never did. I'm not really sure why that became such a popular question. The brochure says the bespoke triangular cargo pods are made from high-grade materials in a unique shape to ensure freight remains safe. Will the Railen's cargo pods be more durable than those used on the Hull series? As you know, the Hull series has its cargo pods on the outside of the ship. And we'll probably, let me answer the question real quick. As the pods themselves are part of the ship, exactly what I was saying, those triangular cargo pods are part of the actual hull of the ship, in my opinion. They may be separated from the hull as a part and piece, but they're still part of the superstructure of the ship. The pods themselves are a part of the ship. They provide some protection, unlike the Hull series, where the pods themselves are open to the world or open to the void. However, they offer nowhere near the protection of a fully enclosed cargo bay. That was probably to go without saying. I'm going to bring up another 3D thing real quick here. Is everyone okay with me bringing up some models here just to kind of compare some of these points that people are bringing up? I don't know if the models are like boring and maybe I shouldn't bring them up. You let me know. I don't mind not bringing them up. Yeah. The Riddick in Twitch says that's right. My cat keeps cargo safe. Hey, man, the Caterpillar is an awesome ship. It's one that I don't have, but I do want. I do really want a cat. I have as a loaner now for the Kraken, and I'm going to miss it when it's gone. Let me. I'm going to bring up this file here in Cinema. Stand by. Oh, got a little Hercules here. We're going to turn the Hercules off for a minute, and we're going to open the Hull C. All right, there's our Hull C. So yeah, as you can see here, the Hull C carries its cargo on the outside of the ship. This is essentially a refactored cargo block here. And that's what that cargo refactor is going to do. It's taking those little cargo boxes. Michael Wheeler on YouTube says, I appreciate the modeling you were doing. Thanks. Okay. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. I'll definitely bring up the models and use them as a tool. And I'm sorry, I'm scratching my nose, guys. I am sick. But the smaller cargo boxes are going to be refactored in this cargo refactored into larger boxes like this. So the math will just filter down. Maybe 50 of the smaller boxes go into one of these larger rectangular things. It's going to cut down on server load and stuff like that. So again, that gives you a little bit of an idea behind the, the differences between the Gatac and the, and the Hull C here. Again, the Hull C is going to be really cool, but, when shipboard tractor beams come online, it is going to be interesting to see how vulnerable the cargo is. I think we're kind of yet to see on some of that, but yeah, we'll see. And obviously, once the cargo is not on board, and you fold these large struts up. Actually, let me turn the center back on here. Sorry. Once you fold the struts back into the Hull C, the entire ship will actually pull back or, come in, essentially retract in to essentially form a ship that looks, something like that. That's going to be sort of what the Hull C looks like when it's not loaded down for bear. So And then when it's not, the hull C will extract out. The struts will then fold out, clunk, and you will load it up with cargo, just like that. Yeah. Let's see. The Riddick says, I don't see why the hull C needs to be so long considering how they carry cargo. And then Riddick says, ooh, I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, Riddick, did you know that the hull C folded up? Is that what what you're talking about? Oh, just learned. Yeah. Broke Citizen in YouTube says, StarJump, did you see the pic I just sent in Discord? I did not, Broke, but I'll bring that up in just a moment. Stand by. Mac Unknown in YouTube says, what about exposed volatile cargo? Yeah, I'm curious about that. I'm actually going to bring up something here. And I know we're diverting on each one of these Gatac questions, but I think this stuff's important to talk about. Stand by, and I will show you. Okay. All right, so I'll bring this up. Actually, let me separate it out here. And yeah, Broke, I'll bring that up in just a second, buddy. So here, Riddick is a good example of how the hull C is going to work and all the hull series. You'll see here how it folds up, goes into the ship, and then the ship collapses down on itself. Now, this is the older hull model, but the new models will work in this fashion, and the ship will close up. I think there's more animations back here on the end. I'm not sure what we're looking at. Maybe a hull. No, this is a hull C. Yeah. So yeah, that's how the ship will fold up essentially, and collapse down to be a smaller ship that supposedly can land on planet side and stuff like that. So, yeah. So stay tuned. I mean, again, it's pretty modular in the way that it can retract and contract. So, okay. So real quick, let's get back to. We're going to go back to the Gatac Q&A. Actually, real quick, Broke Citizen in YouTube just sent me a render here. Let's check this out. Oh yeah, it looks like he's working on a model of the Origin. Was this the G12 rover? Very cool. I like where you're going. Looks like you're working in Cinema 4D as well. So we could definitely share notes. Obviously I do the cinematics all in Cinema 4D. So yeah, we'll definitely talk on the side. I've got a lot of Cinema 4D experience with spaceships. Looking very cool. Nice work. Keep it going. I definitely would like to see where you take this. It's looking really, really nice. Nice work, bro. And thanks for sharing. Okay, let's go to the next question. Let's see here. It says, will it be possible to use the Railen's cargo pods at any cargo station? So I'm guessing they're meaning like UEE or, human cargo stations. The answer is, as standardized cargo units are contained within the pods, they're treated as normal by cargo stations. Yeah, it goes without saying. I mean, could you imagine if they create a ship that could not load cargo at human stations? It would be silly. Plus, we already know the ship is actually made for Xi'an and humans, so it's not just for Xi'an. The next question, I thought this was a decent question. It's one that gets asked a lot in these situations, but I think it is an important question. Do the Railen shields cover the cargo pods? The answer is yes. The shield system covers the pod area. Kind of guess that. The Railen's cargo pod areas, they're actually pretty small in terms of it's close to the ship. They're not extended out the back here really far or anything, so that shouldn't be a problem. Let's see. Mac Unknown says, open exterior on the Railen, all the cargo falls out. Yeah, exactly. And Broke Citizen says, appreciate it. You're an inspiration. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, you know what? There's lots of Star Citizen content creators out there, and especially like artistic creators that have inspired me. And, the CIG concept artists are absolutely amazing. I mean, they inspire me on everything I do. So even when I see other artwork like the Origin G12 rover you're working on, it inspires me. I'm about to start ground vehicles actually for the fleet visualizer we're working on. And So, I mean, again, I get inspired by everything too, so it's really cool. Broke Citizen asks, StarJump, does the Railen have an interior? I'm guessing you're asking about the Railen broke. It does not. The model I have does not have an interior. No. Um, Next question. When is this ship planned to go into production? Answer, when we are putting this ship into production, you'll see it on the RSI roadmap. Ugh, I wish CIG would give it a little better answer than that. Um, that's kind of the go-to. I feel like the roadmap actually is saving them from a lot of these type of questions now, which I guess that's what it's supposed to be. But one thing I will say about that is it from everything I've seen about the Raylan, now I could be totally wrong. Do not make a purchasing decision based off this. But based off everything I can see with the Raylan, it looks far along. Um, in my opinion, the Raylan could get added to the roadmap at any time. It could be next week, maybe, and they add it to the roadmap. Maybe it's a 316 or 317 or whatever ship. I feel like 316 is a little light on ships. Is it 316? I think so. Is a little light on ships, so it could get added for 316 for all I know, or it could be 2 years out. Here's another reason why I do think it's coming sooner rather than later, though. The reason I think we're seeing this large push for cargo ships, with the Connie Taurus suddenly coming out this year after being on the back burner for so long, the Gatac Railen, we have what are the other cargo ships coming this year? Oh, and all the Hull series going into development with the Hull C slated for 316, I believe 316 is that cargo refactor I was talking about. I think end of year cargo gameplay is going to be a major thing. Is that going to be because iCache is also kind of coming online fully in 314 and 315 and stuff? Probably. The cargo refactor, all that. So I see the Gatac Railen going into production and being in production for a while now, specifically because of those reasons. So I don't see it being a ship that's like 2 years out or anything. And based off what CIG has shown on the animation and stuff, that stuff was very, very far along, very far along. Yeah, Riddick, I agree. I think it's an end of year release. And I'm excited to do some end of year or some money trading again and making money that way. I love space trucking. So if I can get back to that, that'll be amazing. Next question. Could you tell us more about the ship's speed and maneuvering capabilities, as the Xi'an are known for their engines? Will the Raylan be fast and maneuverable for its size? Answer, for its size and role, the Raylan is more agile than expected due to the Xi'an thruster technology and placement along with its transformation abilities. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a cool ship. It looks like something that's just punching through space, so that totally makes sense. Next question here. What are shield emitters and what gameplay function will they have versus shield generators? Shield emitters will be an item on the ships where the shield is physically projected from. Typically, but not exclusively, one emitter covers one face of the shield system. So think front, back, rear, side, all that. Shield generators provide the shield resource to maintain the shield overall. So I think the shield generator funnels its energy, power, whatever, into the shield emitter. The shield emitter projects the shield, and so on and so forth. John Ski, can the Raylan carry mines in its cargo pods? I don't know. It's a good question. Be interesting to see what you could put in there in terms of just overall flexibility. You know what I mean? All right, next question. And by the way, if you're asking what I'm drinking, sadly, it's not alcohol. It is a kind of a vitamin C drink for my throat. Again, I'm hanging in there. Next question. Could you tell us how we will load the ship? How do we physically fill and load the cargo pods? Answer. They are loaded like all other cargo ships by maneuvering the cargo into them by hand, tractor beam, or by hiring NPCs to load for you. So right now in game, when we go and load cargo, essentially what's happening is NPCs are loading them for us, but they're kind of doing it in an invisible way. I think eventually maybe you will see the NPCs actually doing that. But when we do get to the stage where we're doing a lot of physically hand loading and tractor beam loading into ships, gone are going to be the days where you load and then, 2 seconds later, you have a cargo bay full of stuff. You're going to have to, that's going to take time. Cargo loading is going to take time and going to become a very sort of logistical procedure. um, Next question here. We'll start trucking through some of these. Why choose this ship over a Hull B or Freelancer Max? The Hull B carries more cargo for a lower price, and the Freelancer Max can carry rovers. These questions are always a little weird to me. I get why people ask them, but at the same time, I guess it's like asking, why would you buy this brand of car over that brand of car? Or why get a SUV when you could get a truck? Or why get a car over a SUV? Or a lot of the times it just comes down to preference. I don't think there's anything wrong with just pure subjective preference being a reason you're buying a ship. So their answer to that is we never want to have a ship that is clearly superior in all ways in a similar area. So there are lots of pluses and minuses for each of these ships. Hull B is a dedicated small crew cargo ship. As such, has a much lower capacity for onboard living. Absolutely, it's a much smaller ship, first of all, and favors cargo over firepower. Again, exactly. The Max has the benefit of being able to carry vehicles, but the Railen has about twice the cargo. Again, it's all trade-off. So yeah, the Max, you can carry them. You can carry vehicles. You can carry inside the hull, where the Railen you can't, but the Railen you get more cargo. So again, it's all pluses and minuses. I think that was a good way of them to put it. Question: can the turrets be slaved to the pilot with blades? This question should be banned. They should never ask this question in any more ship Q&As. I'm tired of hearing it. I love CIG and love that it's all based on upvotes, but I do hate this question and wish they would ban it. They've said on every single ship, time and time again, that yes, you will be able to slave the turrets with blades. I do not know why this question keeps getting asked. Next question: will it be able to pick up mining cargo pods from the Prospector and Mull? Interesting. While not designed for this, given the tractor beam and cargo capacity, you will be able to pick them up and transport them. Other ships are more suited to this role, though. Yeah, so again, what they're saying is, as long as you can get it into that triangular pod, you're good. Now, what will be the interesting thing is, do these pods open from the side? Is that what's going on here? I'd like to know kind of how that functionality is supposed to work. Mac unknown. Yeah, exactly. The Railen. The Railen has a large, well-appointed living quarters. Can we expect it to be a long-range hauler? I was thinking yes, and they say yes. For its size and capacity, the crew has plenty of onboard facilities to facilitate long-range hauling. Yeah, I mean, it's a big ship. I mean, the ship is 3 or 4 decks. So yeah, it makes sense that it's a long hauler. Michael Wheeler in YouTube says the Railen seems highly focused on commodity and or packaged cargo with a speed and maneuvering edge. Seems more suited to developed locations and limited field cargo collection ability. Yeah, that's interesting, Michael. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like it's more well suited to the more well traveled cargo paths, and you may be right with that. You definitely may be right. Stand by here. I'm just switching up some of my windows. I'm sorry, I'm drinking a lot again. Got a sore throat. All right, they say here, what will the tractor beam be used for? Again, there's a lot of ships that are going to have tractor beams. The Caterpillar, the Cutlass Black. I think the Corsair. I could be wrong about that, but there's other ships that have tractor beams. Their answer is tractor beams on cargo ships are primarily used to aid in the loading and unloading of cargo. Pretty straightforward. Max Power says, will it be a medium or large jump point capable ship? Max, I'm glad you bring that up. I wish they would start talking about that again, because we know jump points are coming kind of soon. They are on the progress tracker as being worked on, and we've kind of stopped hearing about that. I feel like they're going to ease up on some of those restrictions. And what I mean by that is, I think larger ships will be able to go through the small jump points, at least the ones they can fit through, but I think it's going to be a much more dangerous path. I don't think they're going to just be cut off from traveling the jump points. I could definitely be wrong, but I find it's going to be really hard for CIG to limit which ships can go through jump points when they only have one jump point in the game. You know what I mean? At first, so we'll see. What we got? What happens to the ship's gravlev, anti-gravity, and fast build consoles / systems when the power goes out? Does it all just fall apart like Rayman? Their answer is it does not fall apart. All systems return to the default state and become inoperable until power is restored. Makes sense. Can't have everything just falling apart. Second last question. Is it at all designed to carry a vehicle, even a rock or ranger? Their answer, it's a good question. Their question is, it is not designed to accommodate a vehicle in a specific area. However, I'm sure players will find creative ways to get them on board like other ships. Again, I think when bigger tractor beams come online, either the bigger like industrial one or the like SRV or something, or ship-based tractor beams, we're going to be able to pick those rocks up and move them anywhere. So yeah, that'd be cool. Last question. Can the Railen enter VTOL separately from landing mode, or are they linked as part of the transformation? They answer here, in the concept, the engines rotate for VTOL as part of the landing mode, so it's tied to it. But as we enter production, we'll evaluate whether we can independently rotate the engines for VTOL without transformation and keep enough force to remain maneuverable. So it looks like that's still up for kind of some decision making. It'd be cool if it had the ability to operate those independently, but we'll see. Michael Wheeler says, jump point and jump engines. Any idea if we have to use jump points? If we have to use a jump point to use jump engines, or will there be some sort of jump beacon capability tied to a ship's jump range? To the best of my knowledge, Michael, and I've talked a little bit with one of the guys who actually worked on jump gates at CIG. To the best of my knowledge, you can only use your jump engines through jump gates. The jump engine itself is intrinsically linking, I think, to the jump gates and starting that path for you. I don't think they are usable and just to get from Microtech to Hurston really quickly. I think jump gates will be part of that. I think some ships will be equipped with stabilization for jump points too. So the Carrack with its antennas that come out, while we don't know exactly, I don't think what's going to happen with those in terms of their functionality. I know it was said at one point that they're going to help stabilize and or map. I've heard people say find and map jump points, but I was always under the understanding that the antenna were able to act as a stabilizing thing for the ship to travel through jump points safe, a little bit more safely. Because the Carrack, a lot of times, I think in lore, would go into dangerous jump points that are kind of unmapped and maybe unstable, and it would need those antennas to kind of help stabilize its path. So some ships, it may be a little tough to get them through jump points. Remember, they said that going through jump points were going to be a little bit of a gameplay scenario where you got to be sure not to get sucked out of the jump point and kicked out into deep space. So, yeah, I agree, Dark Side. Not great questions overall for the Gatac. I was hoping we'd get a little bit more interesting stuff, but, it is what it is. Michael Wheeler says, I was thinking jump engines were from system to system. Carrack was my basis for that question. Yeah, I think you're right. Yep. It's from system to system, essentially. So, and the jump points are always going to be system to system. I think they're putting a jump point for testing purposes in between Microtech and Hurston soon. That's what I've heard. But I think it's just going to be for testing. That won't be a permanent thing. If you go to the star map, what is it, the ARC star map now, you can browse the entire systems that are out there. I'm not sure if you've ever been to the ARC star map, but you can see all the systems. And the jump points go from system to system. There's never any that are like intra-system. So let's see here. What else do we got? Michael Wheeler on YouTube says, I was thinking Carrack could be the beacon for other ships to jump to. Possibly. And another thing, with the Carrack being able to stabilize its path through the jump point, it would be cool if you did a group jump, like a group quantum jump, where people, grouped with the Carrack and the Carrack's ability to stabilize through a jump, and maybe they can travel through the jump point a little bit more safely too. That's something I've also thought about. Broke Citizen in YouTube says, question, I haven't heard anything on that jump area in the Stanton system. I think it was supposed to be located by ArcCorp. Not sure. I just remember a tall tower type structure. So you may be referring to the Aaron Halo. Was that from that video where they showed a Gladius kind of flying through it? It's a big asteroid field. It's got a big, tall kind of tower broke. If that's what you were referring to, that is one of the ArcCorp gates around that are part of the Aaron Halo. So the Aaron Halo, is the asteroid belt there, and they're going to be these. Yes, Riddick, please link it if you can. I think I got links turned on, so if you can post it, give it a try. If not, I can post it. Thank you, man. But the Aaron Halo is going to have these big gates, and those gates are what you saw in that video. So those aren't jump points, but they are another part of the Stanton system that we've yet to receive. I believe I did see the Aaron Halo on the progress tracker, though. Okay, stand by. Where do I go to accept that request? That's the question. Do you know where I go to accept that, Riddick? I'm going to post the link for now, but Riddick, I'll have to get you to show me how to accept that request because I don't have a notification popping up saying you requested it. I'll get you to help me with that, Riddick, later. Thank you, man. Let's go over to. Oh wait, let's see. Mac Unknown says, has anyone heard anything about pad ramming prevention in Orison and Evo 314? Not that I've heard of, Mac. I haven't heard anything about it. Okay, Boda. So it was auto deleted. Okay, cool. I'll get that figured out. Maybe one of you, maybe Riddick or something, can help me set up the permissions for posting links and stuff. Obviously, several of you that are regulars, I want you to have that ability. Oh, okay. Sorry, Riddick. I misunderstood you. I don't have it requesting. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I just linked it. Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. Okay, so enough of that. We're going to get into hashtag permit name. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I'm going to try that just because I want to try it. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, that works. Oh, yeah, look at that. I'm learning new stuff every day. Yeah, everyone. So if it's not already obvious, I am still getting used to streaming. So I'm learning new stuff. And yeah, no, I was just trying it, Boda and Riddick. I was just trying to grant you permission just because I wanted to try it. So I appreciate the help there. All right, let's go into Inside Star Citizen. So Inside Star Citizen this week is all about Orison, from the best of my knowledge, and I'm hoping maybe sprint report at the end or something like that. But or probably a patch overview, if I'm not mistaken. They usually do that on the final episode before a patch. So let's get to watching. I'm going to pause as we're going through this just to talk about certain things. If you have any questions, pipe them in and we'll talk about them. But yeah, let's check out Inside Star Citizen. Pretty exciting. Let me know if the volume is okay and if you can hear everything. If the volume's too loud, though, I can definitely turn it down.
I felt goosebumps, so I don't know. I hope you feel the passion, not just from the audio team, but from everyone that poured a lot of work into this.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. I love the look.
I hope music gives justice to the thousands of man hours that were put in this place.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that's really cool.
It's just so much better than we ever hoped it would be when we started working on Crusader half a year ago.
Very, very different than what you'd see. You know, there's huge vistas to look at, these beautiful sunsets to look at, but also almost too perfect a world.
Wow. That's cool, Michael. I hope EO stays.
Trying to create is this insane sense of scale, and we really want to capture that sense of Orison just sprawling out into the distance.
I've seen our backers get excited about all kinds of tiny little details that you'd think, that doesn't really matter, but the first time I saw it for myself, it was beautiful.
Oh, that's cool. Check out that. You're seeing a C2 under construction, it looks like. I would love, so I'll give you a little history. My parents actually work in aerospace, and they have for a long time worked at one of the biggest aerospace companies in the world. And I would go there sometimes on tours, and in some of the factory complexes, which were absolutely massive, you could stand up on this gantry and, hey, Mad Brewer 666, thanks for joining. Appreciate you stopping by. But you could stand up on this gantry, and on one far end, you could see parts and pieces coming together and winding their way through the assembly line as pieces get attached and built and built and built and built. And at the very end, you had a jet rolling off the line. You know what I mean? Like unpainted, but a jet. And you could see this entire thing come together. It was unbelievable. I would love if they have something like that in Orison, where it's where you can see ships in different states of being assembled. Not watch them get built, but it'd be cool if you just had like some static ships that were half built, some that are quarter built, et cetera, et cetera.
I'll be honest, it'll only get better from here.
Salute, Matt. Appreciate you stopping by.
Beyond
wow, look at that
picture and the shape of it is things that are super important, like the
oh, did you notice that? It looks like these big things up here with these like sail kind of vertical stabilizers on them, they're moving. So it looks like those are probably traveling all over the sky, because I see some way back here. I bet you those are traveling all around, delivering goods and materials and stuff, and to help with manufacturing. That's really cool. That'll help bring it to life.
Picture and the shape of it is things that are super important, like the dressing, the props that are placed around the foliage. A lot of it is about adding that human element in, because if you have no dressing, you've just got architecture. It feels very.
I really hope they allow us to explore the full breadth.
So one way we try to add that character
of this area
through what we call our graphic standards, which includes fonts and iconography.
Oh, Max says they do move. Cool.
Lines and things, and those can be different between whole landing zones, but they could also be different within landing zones.
What a beautiful landing zone. I think I found my new home.
On it might be more industrial looking, it might be more habitational looking, or medical, for example. There's different ways you can do that.
One thing that we talked about was tourism is a big part of your industry. You want to paint the pretty picture. You want to have the postcard shot. You consume through your eyes as you see what people are dressed like. What are the vendors wearing? What are they selling? What are they talking? The people that come up.
New shirts. Be prepared for the Orison shirts and merch.
So much about an area. In this case, we kind of focused in on sort of this 1950s Americana, like the white picket fence, the perfect family unit. The Norman Rockwell sort of painting. Like, what is that sci-fi version of that? Even the guys wearing suits, it's like that.
Oh, I like those suits. Those are cool.
Businessman of that era, and that's kind of was our jumping off point. It's got a much different feel than a lot of the zones because of that.
You know what's interesting about these environments, though? They could have really phoned Orison in and just made it a lot of hard surface floating Cloud City buildings a la Star Wars, but I feel like they really went a step further. I mean, they really brought in flora and probably fauna. I'm sure there's going to be birds or butterflies and stuff flying around. There's dynamics. I saw some leaves and petals blowing across the ground to give you that sense that there was constant breezes happening. There's cloth dynamics, water's flowing, water shader stuff's flowing. So again, really spared no expense.
Performance is one of the biggest challenges, especially for lighting.
This place looks beautiful at night, doesn't it? John Ski is 617 ISC video.
We wanted to achieve a nice.
I'll check that out. See if it's 400i.
A friendly, welcoming mood for the commercial and tourism areas, and then at the same time, not an unwelcoming mood, but more of a functional kind of high-tech workspace for the other industrial platforms. And then at the same time, we also want to add further contrast so that at daytime, it's very clean, it's very bright. And then at nighttime, you get a little bit more varied color palette. And because we want to have all of this light at nighttime, we have to take into account the level of detail that we expect, while also leaving enough room in the lighting budget for all of these lights, like one platform further away from you, 2 platforms, 3, and even further than that. So lighting is a big challenge.
Yeah.
Particularly one of my personal favourite bits with the butterflies.
I'll let them know, bro.
The fireflies that come out at night in the garden.
Oh, wow, look at that. Oh,
stunning.
Yeah, you see it flying over. You can see the thrusters.
You don't necessarily notice the little details.
That's really cool. You can see the thrusters of it flying overhead. Wow, they're huge. That is really cool. That thing's like a whole D flying over your head. That is really cool. Again, it helps with that sense of scale. And this lighting is incredible. Again, I've working in film and television for so long, I can tell you, lighting is one of the hardest parts of the job. And I'm working on a big 3D cinematic thing right now, and we're in the midst of lighting some scenes, and it is incredibly difficult, even in just a room. So I can imagine a scene like this where you have these far draw distances and everything. I mean, it must be incredibly challenging, especially on a lighting budget. So again, big respect to the CIG lighting department.
Details consciously, but it just breathes so much life into an otherwise empty space. In the case of the platform thrusters, you've got to communicate why this platform is floating. Got this massive platform.
I was wondering how they were going to explain its ability to float.
Thrusters are there.
It's got thrusters.
To keep this platform in situ, otherwise you're just going to fall out of the sky and fall into the gas giant. So first for us, been a bit technically challenging, but I think it's going to be worth it.
There's the clouds. Okay.
Reference.
So in the clouds here, I can see some of that artifacting they've been talking about and a lot of the feedback so far. This is the same artifacting we had in the first iteration of the gas clouds, the spacescaping gas clouds. It's a little distracting, but the good thing is we know they solved it for the glass clouds, and I'm sure they'll solve it for this. But when you kind of take that artifacting away, you're really left with a really gorgeous,
like realistic looking clouds that are convincing
gorgeous cloudscape.
Like for everybody, obviously, there's always going to be Earth, but Art Direction wanted something less Earth-like and a bit more alien, if you will, and that was one of the bigger challenges.
I definitely know there's some visual artifacts that you can see sometimes in high contrast areas or in the distance and stuff. But I know that if
that
it's
looks
not
amazing.
Fixed by 3.14, that Carson and the team will definitely be able to work on those and improve those in the future.
So he just said that artifacting and stuff they are working on, and if it's not fixed for 3.14's live release, then it's something they'll iterate on. I could see them, in a 3.14.1 patch iterating on that a little bit more. They'll work that out. I mean, volumetric cloud tech is not groundbreaking tech for video games. I mean, video games are doing it. It is challenging, and I think it's especially challenging on a scale like this. Remember, this is not Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is a different game engine, a different game with different requirements, different needs, and different things happening. So it's not the same challenge as just doing what Flight Simulator does. John Ski says they put foliage and a small whale sculpture on it, but it looks like a 400i underneath all the knickknacks, and that's at 617, right, John? We'll keep an eye out for that. Let's see. Yeah. Broke Citizen says, I I think I'll jump off and see what's below. Yeah, I definitely plan on jumping off. Everyone, remember, I'm simulcasting on Twitch and YouTube tonight. If you're not followed over on Twitch, I really encourage you to go do that if you haven't done it already. It's StarJump_Grim on Twitch. So would really love for people to, go give me a follow over there if you can. It just helps my Twitch stay relevant and stuff. I will put the link in here. Give me a follow if you can, but you're always welcome, of course, to watch it on YouTube. No problem there. I made Twitch my primary stream platform because with YouTube as the primary stream platform, I actually lost some features, which was unfortunate. So that's why I simulcast. You can watch it on either one. But I just appreciate everyone's help. Appreciate everyone showing up here tonight and watching through ISC with me. Look how beautiful this looks. What's incredible about this are the draw distances. Look how far off you can see those platforms back there. That's really, really cool. I really hope they have not limited the flight restrictions too much around here. I'm curious to see how they're going to handle the no-fly zone sort of thing.
I think it's great that the cloud tech is going out as it is, because it does look amazing. Everything that's going to have cloud.
SF, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There already. It's so promising that we have
really appreciate the support.
It's going to be amazing once it's fully realized and deployed in the whole universe.
Oh, it's looking great. Seeing it at different times of day and stuff is really cool. Wow. The music's incredible.
For the planet, we wanted to feel the more
There's Pedro.
Grandeur element of Crusader. It's a
Rolo
fantastic
Kip,
planet.
thank you for the follow. Appreciate your support. Really, really appreciate it.
I think the music is the first thing that makes you understand the culture.
Mech Driver 22, thank you for the support as well. Thank you for that follow.
The guidance I got from Darren when you land is that you want.
So we got a couple follows coming in. VG, I don't know the full name. VG Zeitzez. Hopefully I said that right. I probably did not. But thank you for the follow as well. Thank you all for coming over here and throwing a follow my way on Twitch. Again, it helps, and I really, really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Appreciate you becoming part of the Star Jump fam.
Wanted to feel
as my good friend DG360 says.
At, an eternal sunset or
there's our Crusader shuttles.
Kind of like makes you go into the most human part of you. And for the industrial part, we wanted to make sure we felt the grandeur of the industrious mind of engineers that work there and construct all the beautiful ships that we have in the Star System.
Yeah.
I certainly really...
A lot of materials going on here. Glass, water.
Even more deeper. I mean, I tried to go deeper and deeper in everything I go, so hope you guys enjoy it.
It's stunning. And that music fits really well. Pedro's an amazing
The next landing zone, Horizon,
composer.
And the gas giant Crusader that sits beneath it represent the next major milestone for our planet tech, content, environment, engine, graphics, VFX teams, and more. And like each planet and moon before it, will continue to iterate and improve as subsequent technologies come online.
Yeah, same, John. I like Orson at night and day. It's really hard to decide.
It's a major component of the upcoming Alpha 314. There's more where that came from. Now, before we let you go for the quarter, let's take a moment to recap everything coming our way in the patch report.
Oh, it's a patch report.
As
okay.
we just saw, the fabled Horizon, city amongst the clouds and dream of star citizens everywhere, makes its long-awaited debut riding high on the gas giant Crusader in Alpha 314. Now, like
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of you.
It will continue to.
I've heard your name somewhere, or seen you somewhere.
With the addition of hospitals,
appreciate you stopping by.
Crusader showroom, whale-watching tours, and more. Additionally, this first version of Crusader boasts another new
awesome, bro.
for
Appreciate
Alpha
it. Thank you for the follow on the other Twitch, buddy.
Implementation of planetary volumetric clouds, which builds off
Jamacker Gamer 285. Appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Tech across the entire surface.
Yeah, I agree, Matt Brewer. The game would not be the same without Pedro.
While still in active development and not yet final, the work continues beyond Alpha 314.
Awesome, bro. Appreciate it, buddy.
Occlusion to help alleviate graphical artifacting. The addition of
Did we miss? Let's hold real quick. Let's go back to 617. Did I miss that? I think I missed it. Let's watch it. I probably was. Let's see.
The more grandeur.
Is it supposed to be here?
Element of Crusader is a fantastic planet. I think the
Am I missing something? If it is there, John, I don't see it. But who knows? It might be there. All right, let's go back here. Let's go back where we were.
Graphical artifacting, the addition of local VFX work,
Oh, okay. I'll check it out, John.
refinement to overall process that will improve an already amazing quality seen here in subsequent patches. On the gameplay front, there are several advancements
I love those
to
new
ship
HUDs.
and vehicle operation coming in Alpha 3.14 that aim to further improve the combat and flight experience, including Power Management V2, formerly referred to here as capacitors, designed to rebalance all the connected systems that make ships go. From thrusters to weapons to shields, adding another layer of critical decision-making to combat is just one more way to put the successful outcome of any battle more squarely in players' hands. There's also Missile Operator Mode and the rework to Missile
Looking forward to
Guidance and
Missile Operator
Control,
Mode.
which not only brings about a new way to interact with and control the variety of munitions available on ships and vehicles, but improves the way they handle themselves in the verse by bringing the same
I'm excited for all operator modes because that means
pilot
multi-crew
spacecraft
gameplay, so
to
I'm
their
all for it.
missiles and torpedoes. This has the effect of improving both performance and tracking ability while providing skilled pilots a way to use their talents in avoiding death and destruction. A revitalization of the way radar, scanning and teamwork
radar
throughout the Star Citizen universe is another essential addition to the upcoming Alpha 3.14, with detailed and consistent means of discovery, distraction, and potentially
I think some
destruction.
missiles,
This new unified
Jamaica
system
Gamer,
with its upcoming FPS counterpart will form the foundation of a new and improved level of investigation, cat and mouse chase, and more
maybe,
for the
Vassie.
future, while changing the way players interact with content
That might be
already in the game today. And of course, all of these new systems are displayed better than ever before with the new Canvas Slice HUD, a tech made possible by our continuing development of building blocks that aims to provide an improved layout that maximizes screen real estate.
I love that new HUD. I think it's really nice. It's wider, which I think is going to be better.
For allowing manufacturer-specific visual designs like the Aegis one we've seen before and the Drake version currently being developed now. But when you're flying through the verse, there's been a
Connie
ship
Taurus.
waiting patiently for its time to shine. That last variant
that
of
livery.
our original 5 pledge ships finally makes its debut in the upcoming Alpha 3.14, the Constellation Taurus. Now, it may not look like much, kid, but it's got it where it counts, and that's the cargo hold. Just be careful where you take it, because Alpha 3.14 also brings with it the danger, the conflict, and the opportunities inherent in 2 dynamic events scheduled to occur.
I love that
during the
livery
next
on
quarter.
it. That's really cool. I hope that's the
First,
official
the
livery.
return of the newly improved and remastered Xeno threat that will bring all players across all servers to bear in battling the tormented invaders from the Pyro system.
Yeah, that new scanning does look great.
Smaller, more local threat of the Ninetales in a new PvP-focused event that will occur several times in different locations throughout the Stanton system. Of course, if you get caught up where you shouldn't be, there's also the new Surrender system that will allow criminals who can't get away to be arrested without losing either their life or their ship. If you're into
It's a nice
that kind of
option to
thing.
get. That's going to get deeper for sure.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that with Horizon and Crusader, we truly do belong amongst the clouds. That the volumetric cloud tech itself might not be exactly where we want it to be just yet, but like with all things in Star Citizen, it'll continue to be iterated on and improved in subsequent releases. And that, boy howdy, can that Pedro make a piece of music. Jeez. Now we're going to take our regularly scheduled quarterly break here, but our other broadcasts will continue on Fridays. And for all the latest information about the continuing progress of Alpha 3.14, including when you can jump in and help test things in the PTU, all that stuff will be available on the robertspaceindustries.com website. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all in about a month.
All right. All right, so let's say John Ski says the 400i Possibly imaged it. So, John, where am I going in the vid to find it? Is it, you said 6 minutes, 17 seconds? Let me know if that's right. I mean, the 400i is a pretty large ship, so I would imagine it's pretty visible. Awesome, Mad Brewer. Appreciate you stopping by to watch it. Yeah, I mean, you know, I never intended to do any of the Inside Star Citizen review type videos, but honestly, I don't get to watch it till night anyway when my daughter's asleep. So I thought, you know what, might as well watch it with my community friends and watch it together, and we can kind of talk about it. So, you know, doesn't hurt anybody. Johnski says, starts at 6:17 right after Pedro, which is where we're at.
Feel the more grandeur element of Crusader. It's a fantastic planet.
Look at the small yacht with the pink swishy sculpture and small whale. Oh, it's actually just part of Orison. That's the platform. That whale, they've shown pictures of that of people standing on that. That is, there's grass on top of it. It does look like a yacht. You're exactly it does look like a yacht. That's kind of funny. Yeah, it does kind of look like a yacht, believe it or not. But no, that's actually a platform. It's part of this. What is this platform called? Is it Providence or something? So it's part of the Providence platform. But yeah, good eye. It does look like a yacht. You got the nose coming out here. You got the black bridge up here. Yeah, it does look like a yacht. Nice eye. That's very good. I think for a second, though, you do see something. You see something right here. Maybe. What ship is that?
Grandeur element of Crusader.
It could be an Orison shuttle, but it looks a little too flat and long to be an Orison shuttle. Or Crusader shuttle, because I have seen those in detail. Mac Unknown says it's the shuttle. Okay, yeah, maybe it is the shuttle. It looks too flat and too long for the shuttle, but it definitely could be. This is quite a distance. Yeah, that's cool.
For the planet.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm going to switch back over to my all right. So yeah, Inside Star System, pretty good episode. It was kind of cool to see, just see how that's all coming along. Obviously, the volumetric clouds have been something people have been wanting for a long time. Now we know with 3.14, at least the initial release, we're not going to be getting those volumetric clouds on other planets. I think we're going to. I think it's going to be a little bit before we see that. I would even reckon to guess a couple patch cycles, and part of the reason is I feel like they're going to maximize performance using Crusader as the test bed, and then once they're happy with that, then they'll populate it into Hurston, Microtech, ArcCorp, etc. Maybe some of the moons. I'm not sure. I know a lot of the moons don't have atmospheres, but maybe some of them do. So, Mad Brewer says, I mean, we're all watching it anyway, and the conversation almost makes it seem like we're at Bar Citizen. Yeah, absolutely, Matt. You bring up Mad Citizen, and Twitch brings up Bar Citizen. I lived in New York City for a long time, almost 20 years. I now live in Ohio, and I'm going to be attending the Ohio Bar Citizen, which I believe takes place for the entire weekend of the July 31st weekend. So if you're in or around Ohio and looking to go to a Bar Citizen, definitely go to the Ohio Bar Citizens or Ohio Citizens Discord. I will get that and post it in my stream later this weekend because there is still time. But they're going to have a whole weekend of kind of events and stuff, and I plan on being there. So if you're, like I said, if you're in the Ohio or surrounding states area and looking to go to a cool Bar Citizen, it sounds like it's going to be a pretty large event. Yeah. So before I head off tonight, I did just want to reiterate a couple of things. As I said at the beginning, StarJump has started looking at ways to allow our fans to support us. It's something we held out for a long time. Partially because I'm very careful about stuff like that. You know, the cinematics, for example, while a very expensive endeavor, there's something I do because I love the community, I love the game, and I really did, truly, honestly want to give people that own ships that are not in the game yet a way to experience those ships. And I'm going to continue releasing all the StarJump content completely straight up, cinematics especially, StarJump Chronicles, the Fleet Visualizer, which is coming along nice, which I'm going to give you a new preview here in just a second. But our Patreon and our tips and donation page on our Twitch, definitely help keep the productions coming because we want to go big, you know what I mean? And we did just do our first wallpaper. I'm going to switch over to my live screen. We did just do our first wallpaper for the Patreon supporters, and I'll give you a little preview of it here. When you're a Patreon, you'll get all these in big, beautiful 4K. You're going to get 2 of them a month, and if you're a top-tier subscriber, you're going to get custom ones. So I'll do the ships in your colors, with your decals on them, et cetera, for your org or whatever. But they're totally unique. I'm not pulling from any other wallpapers or reusing anything. I'm building those all from scratch. So again, it's just something that, if you're looking to help support us, we're trying to do some really cool stuff. We have these RP primers that are coming out. The first one is going to be a primer on the Anvil Arrow. It's like an Anvil Arrow flight manual, and we're doing it just like a real aircraft flight manual. It's going to have really cool visuals in it, really cool stats and all that stuff. That's another Patreon reward. So we really appreciate your support. You do not have to donate, but if you do, we really do appreciate it. And we're going to roll out some really cool rewards for that. Now, let's get back to one other thing before I head out. Vasily in YouTube says, would love to see some Orion action. So Vasily, I have been working on an Orion model. I have one in my Aegis cinematic. It shows up just for a brief moment. And that model I took to about the 60% point. But the next big cinematic I'm working on, and I'm kind of in early pre-production on now, is the RSI cinematic. So all the RSI cinematic or ships are going to get really built out to completion, and the Orion definitely will be one of them. So yes, the Orion will definitely be happening. I thought I'd give everyone a little bit of a preview on some Fleet Visualizer stuff. Here is a test image we're working on right now with the Fleet Visualizer. This is all top down, but we wanted to see if we could, put a bunch of ships on there just for testing purposes. But this is again using the cinematic assets, and you'll actually be able to zoom into it way closer than this. You'll be able to zoom all the way down to this, these sabers and these smaller ships. You can't hear. It gets a little pixelated, obviously, but in the final fleet viewer, you're going to be able to do all that. You're also going to be able to view the ships at both top-down and isometric views and profile views. You're going to be able to change the backgrounds and all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to try to get as much features as we can. I'll show you. Stand by. So one of the things I have to do is I have to create the ships at the particular angles and do them all to scale. So looks like we have possibly a new follower. Let's see, who is it? Cyberson, appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Oh, did I misspell it? It says Cyber Arson. Oh, Cyber Arson. I like that name. Cool. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate your support. Really appreciate it. So this is the isometric view I'm working on for the fleet viewer, and this is the Aegis line here. Just completed the Aegis line last week. So as you see, I can cycle through these for a lot of the different ship variations. I got to still do liveries and things like that, but I'll get to those. And these are going to be the assets that are in the fleet viewer that you'll be able to populate and all that good stuff. Just cycle through a couple of these. And again, they're not one-to-one to the in-game ship. They're close, though. We wanted to do something that had a little bit more of a real-world kind of gritty look to them. So that's kind of what you're seeing here. But it's coming along really well. Like I said, we're going to have three primary views for the fleet viewer. So isometric will be one. The other view angle will be profile, like this. Right? So profile, and then we'll have another angle that is top down, which you kind of saw earlier. And this is the level at which you'll be able to zoom in on ship. So it's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, it's coming along really, really well. Super happy with how it's coming along. And a big shout out to Starlet and VMXEO for all their help on this project. It's a pretty massive project, but we're hoping to bring something to the Star Citizen community. It's really cool. In addition to those three primary looks, the top, profile, and isometric, we're going to do what's called a hero angle, which is a non-isometric, beautiful hero angle of singular ships. And if you double click on a ship, it's actually going to take it to a 360 rotating animation, using the high fidelity asset and all that good stuff. I've just started work on the 600i, the Origin ships. That's kind of in progress right now. So I'll give you a little preview of the 600i executive, So anyways, Fleet Viewer, that's coming along. I wish I could give everyone a timeline on that. I do not have a timeline yet, but I can tell you that it is progressing well. A little better than I thought, honestly. I thought the back end work was going to take much longer, and we wouldn't see the fruits of that labor for quite a while. But that's actually happening much quicker than we thought. So now it's really just getting through the ships. Vasily says, "Is Anvil in the near future?" Vasily, are you referring to cinematics? Is an Anvil cinematic in the near future? Is that what you're asking? Thank you, Mad Brewer. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're working hard on this. I'm trying to make all the ships look really slick for the Fleet Viewer. That way everyone can use my cinematic assets and create cool wallpapers, cool ship imagery, stuff like that. Again, my goal is to share this stuff with the community. I want to give this stuff to you all to where you can manipulate it and do things with it. Vasily says yes. So Vasily asked a question on YouTube: is Anvil in the near future? So the answer to that, Vasily, is yes. The Anvil cinematic was actually going to be my next cinematic, but I decided to switch it to RSI. The reason is because Anvil has a lot of small fighters, so I'm going to be kind of up close and personal with a lot of the ships. And because of that, I want to give the Anvil ships an extra layer of detail even beyond what I did for Aegis. So to do that required me to kind of procure the right models and all that kind of good stuff. Thank you, Mac. Appreciate it. I think you're heading off. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Stream's going to be ending pretty soon here. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for that support, as always. But yes, Anvil Cinematic will probably be after RSI, if I had to guess. So the way I think it's going to go, Vasily, is I'm going to finish Crusader first, because Crusader Cinematic's about at the 70% mark. It's been on pause, but I'm about to pick that back up. So that will be Crusader. Then next I'll do RSI, and then next I'll do Anvil after that. So yeah. Mad Brewer at Boderson, I think our whole org. Yeah, again, really appreciate all the support, everyone. I mean, everyone has been awesome with how quickly you supported both mine and Ender's, projects, streaming, the StarJump stuff, the cinematics, our upcoming StarJump Chronicles, which is going to be badass. Excuse me. We're working hard. We really are. We're working really hard. I mean, there's not really a night goes by that I'm not doing something that's eventually going to be for the community. So hopefully, watching ISC was cool tonight. Hopefully, going through the Gatac Railen and looking at the Gatac models and stuff and kind of comparing those, against the Hull C, was cool. I hope people enjoy that. Again, when Ender's YouTube, or Ender's Twitch, I will get that for you. It is this right here. Go give Ender a follow. We support each other. We've longtime friends, been gaming for a long time. When I'm talking about ships, I like to bring up the models and inspect them and stuff, whether that's the Hull C or the Pioneer, or one of my favorite ships, the SRV. I can't wait for this ship to come out. I like to inspect this stuff and really get in there and kind of look around and see what we're dealing with. And that's how I like to discuss ships. So I hope everyone's okay with that. Again, thank you everyone for your support. Thank you for the follows. Please help, share my Twitch channel with your friends. If they're Star Citizen fans or just fans of the cinematic work, please help share, my channel out there. Tell them to give me a follow. Any support really helps. You guys are awesome. We really couldn't ask for a better community. And I will be streaming tomorrow night and Saturday night and Sunday night. I think I'll be streaming all 3 nights, along with Ender. So there's going to be a lot of StarJump streaming going on. Tomorrow, I am planning on, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow is going to be, I think it's a Calling All Devs, where they're going to have Todd Pappy and I think another art director that will be talking all things 314. And anytime Todd Pappy talks about Star Citizen, I'm going to be there. So expect me to watch down Calling All Devs tomorrow. That'll probably be a little bit of a longer stream because it's a longer show. I won't pause as much, I promise. But I'd love to watch that with you all if you're around. So yeah, that's pretty much it, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. More previews on the fleet visualizer and the wallpapers coming real soon. Thank you all so much. Thanks for stopping by. Please tune in tomorrow and give me that support. I really appreciate it. Talk to you all later. Salute. Thanks for being StarJump fans.